Okay, so if you can see my screen, we're going to start today with our class of the week number 10. We are just going to have one class. Super simple. It's not difficult. It's kind of a review of some other past topics and like an expansion of a previous topic, which is the modal verbs. Ready? Today we're going to start talking about signs. Yeah. Do you know what is the meaning of signs? What does it sound like?
Yes.
Signs. Sorry?
Señales.
Okay, yeah, it's very good, exactly. So we have different kinds of signs, no? For example, we have traffic signs like this one or like this one, right? But we also have other different type of signs like body language or body gestures, body gestures. Do you know what is the meaning of gestures?
Gestos.
Gestos, yes, very good. So in that case, the body gestures are other different types of signs. Not signs that we can see on the wall or on the street, but signs that the people send with their body, right? For example, this different sign, or this one, when the people do like this, or when the people do like this, or when the people do like this, right? They have different meanings. So because they are different kinds of signs, right? So we have two questions. The first one is, do you exactly know what all of these signs mean? Do you know all of these signs or not? What do you think? Do you know those signs or not?
Maybe no,
Which
teacher.
one is not clear for you, Kami?
The the hand in the right.
The hand in the right, this one.
Yeah, this.
Okay, okay, very good. Yeah, well, it's like a finger making like this, no? What is it?
Okay.
What
You
do you
call
think is that?
someone or
Calling
something.
someone? Oh, well, basically it would be like, come here. Yeah, like calling somebody. Yes. But sometimes it's like that, but also it could be provoking. What is the meaning of provoking? Provoke, I think it's with K, provoke, or with Q. Oh my God, I'm not sure. Let me just find it out because I'm not sure if it's with Q or with K. Well, reference, verb provoke. Ah, yes, it's with K. Yes, very excellent. So provoking somebody, no, it could be, for example, sometimes you can see that one person makes that sign to another person in order to irritate the person, or to say like, okay, if you want to fight, let's fight, or something like that. So it could be also provoking a person, no? So okay, anyway. Any other? This one, is it clear for you? The traffic signs are clear?
That is, you can't turn in you in.
You can turn back. Turn back, it's like girar de regreso, no? Like dar,
Yeah.
hacer el giro de regreso, turn back. Okay, very good. You can turn back. That's true. Muy bien. And this one, what about this sign? What is the meaning of that?
Maybe it's a place or reason to walk. I don't know.
Yes, of course. It's calling that it's, or is showing that it's a pedestrian cross. What is the meaning of pedestrian?
I don't know.
Peatón.
Peatón. Muy bien, very good. So it's the people who come by walking, that they are not in any kind of vehicle, not in bicycle, not in car. They are just walking. So they are called pedestrians, no? They are the people who are walking. So exactly like that. It's an area which is especially for people walking. So the people who are in car or bicycle or motorcycle, they have to be careful because maybe there are going to be a lot of people walking there. Hmm? Bueno, what about this hand gesture? This one. What is that?
Okay.
Okay, right? Everything good? Like there is no problem. Yeah. Okay. And what about this one? Where the people do like this?
So, or hi, or something.
Exactly. It's greeting or farewell, no? So greeting, it means hello, and farewell means goodbye. O sea, saludos y despedidas. Greeting and farewells. Ready? Muy bien, very good. And the second question was, are you totally and definitely sure? But well, in this case, for example, about this one, I am sure. There is no doubt. ¿Cierto? There is no doubt when I say there is no doubt. What does it mean of there is no doubt?
It's clear.
Exactly, it's clear, no? Like I don't have question. I mean, it's definitely that this design, the meaning of design is that you can back. It's clear. There is no ambiguity in design. There is only one possible meaning. But for example, in this one, yes, it's not completely definite or defined the meaning of the sign because it could be come here calling a person, but it could be provoking a person. So it's not completely clear what is the meaning of that sign, right? So in that case, guys, when we talk about signs and when we talk about gestures and body gestures, it's possible that we can be completely sure about it or that we are not completely sure about it, right? For example, we are Colombians, and what is the meaning of this sign? Look at the camera. When I do this sign, what is the meaning of that?
Paila.
Paila, right? In Colombia, it's clear, and everybody is going to be completely and definitely sure about what is the meaning of paila. But if we talk about this sign, or well, if we do this sign to another person from another part of the world, they are not going to be clear about what is that. They don't understand if paila is bad, or it's kind of, or it's more or less, so it's not clear for them. On the same way, for example, yes, what is the meaning in Colombia if we do like this? If we move the head like this? What is the meaning of that?
So.
So, right? But in India, it's not the same. When the people do in India this kind of sign, yes, it means something different. So give me 1 second. We're going to listen to an activity here. Give me 1 second because I have to find it out. Okay, so give me 1 second. I am opening the resource. Come come on, open. Oh my God, it's not opening fast. Yeah, that's it. Okay, so I'm going to move it a little bit here, and we're going to go directly into the listening part. Wait a second. I'm trying to find it out. Okay, right here. Ready, guys? So we're going to listen what is the meaning of this gesture in the people from India. Ready? So let's listen this conversation. Well, anyway, the script is here on the screen. Yes, so you can check it out. But let's listen and then you tell me what is the meaning of this sign for the people in India. Okay?
Unit 14. So that's what it means. Page 93, Exercise 3, Conversation. Have you met Raj? Part A. Listen and practice.
Have you met Raj, the student from India?
No, I haven't.
Well, he seems really nice, but there's one thing I noticed. He moves his head from side to side when you talk to him. You know, like this.
Maybe it means he doesn't understand you.
No, I don't think so.
Or it could mean he doesn't agree with you.
Actually, people from India sometimes move their heads from side to side when they agree with you.
Oh, so that's what it means.
Okay, do you have any questions and vocabulary from the text? No, no problem. All good.
It's clear the audio.
Okay, great. So they are talking about Raj, who's a person and a student from India. And then they start talking about what is the possible meaning of this body gesture. Yes. So the first man says that, sorry, the woman says that it possibly means what? What is the first hypothesis about it?
The most um, near to the signal is he doesn't understand.
Yes, that the woman says like maybe it means that he doesn't understand, right? But the man says, no, I don't think that it's that is the real meaning of the sign. So the woman makes another possibility, another hypothesis. What is the hypothesis?
He doesn't agree with you.
Exactly. So the woman says, well, okay, so the other possibility is that it could mean that he doesn't agree with you. And finally, Peter, the other man says, no, 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 actually, it's the opposite. The people from India move their head from side to side when they agree with you, right? So the one says, okay, so that's what it means. But the woman made two different hypotheses about two different suppositions about what is the possible meaning of that sign. Ready? Good. Guys, now we're going to listen to a second part, and in the second part, Rush, this guy, is going to comment something that it's strange for him. He's the person from India, no? So he's going to comment something that is strange for him from from the what? From the costumes or in the people of North America. Ready? So let's listen, and then you try to tell me what is the costume that he finds different or strange.
Page 93, Exercise 3, Part B. Now listen to Raj talk to his friend. What does he find unusual about the way people in North America communicate?
So how are things at school, Raj?
Oh, pretty good, actually.
Do you find it easy to communicate with people?
Most of the time. Though there are some things I find a bit unusual. For example, the way that people end a conversation. You know, they'll say things like, "Hey, let's get together soon." At first, I thought that they were inviting me to do something. But then I realized it's just a way of saying goodbye. It's not really an invitation at all. It takes a bit of getting used to.
Ready? You got it? Or do you want to listen one more time?
Yes, I got it.
Okay. Luisa, Camilo, Jennifer, got it?
One more time, please.
One more time. Okay, so let's listen one more time.
Page 93, Exercise 3, Part B. Now listen to Raj talk to his friend. What does he find unusual about the way people in North America communicate?
So how are things at school, Raj?
Oh, pretty good, actually.
Do you find it easy to communicate with people?
Most of the time. Though there are some things I find a bit unusual. For example, the way that people end a conversation. You know, they'll say things like, "Hey, let's get together soon." At first, I thought that they were inviting me to do something. But then I realized it's just a way of saying goodbye. It's not really an invitation at all. It takes a bit of getting used to.
Okay, very good. So the man asks, like, well, how are things in university, in college, the classes? The man says, no, fine. But there is something that I find unusual. What is that?
In this case, Raj thinks that when something say, in this case, see you soon, is an invitation for other meeting, but the real meaning is it's only how can I say this person?
It's a farewell. It's a way to say goodbye.
Yes, it's a way to say the real meaning.
Exactly, very good, Nico. Well, not something, sino someone. Someone which is alguien, because something is algo, no? But
Someone, yes, sorry.
someone says, and the sentence is, let's get together soon. No see you soon, sino let's get together soon. That is the real sentence. And the meaning of that sentence then, it's what Nicolas says, is not really like an invitation for like a reunion, but it's more like a way to close the conversation, no? It's a conversation closer. So it's like when I say in español, bueno, what I want to do is to close the conversation, ¿no? O in Spanish the same, when I say, hey, hablamos, te veo luego, o te veo más tarde. Maybe no, maybe we are not going to see each other later. It's just a way to say, hey, goodbye, right? So, muy bien, very good, guys. In that case, this is the way in which we can make predictions, no, sino suppositions, sorry, suppositions about the different signs, okay? For that, we're going to have different ways to do it. We're going to start with the verb mean, no? Which mean it's significar. Yes? So in that case, we can show certainty or supposition in different ways. One way is to do it with modal verbs. And the other way is to do it with adverbs. The modal verb, it's, like a verb that necessarily requires another verb after that. In this case, it's the verb mean. In this case, the modal verbs are going to have always a verb in infinitive. So that's why mean, en este caso no cambia y siempre será mean, right? Sin importar el sujeto. The difference here is if I am sure or not sure about the meaning of the things. When I say might or may, it means podría, but with a low possibility. Let's say 20% of possibility. I have no idea. I am just guessing around, right? But when I use could, which is also podría, yes, it also means podría, it's more like a 50-50. It's a possibility, but I'm not totally sure. Yes. And the last one, must, which is like one, well, let's say 99% of certainty. Like I am almost sure about something, right? So for example, with the meaning of with the sign like this, I would say, no, pues easy. It must mean everything okay or no problem. It must mean no problem. Because I am sure. But for example, with the meaning of the sign like this, that we were not completely sure, I cannot use must because I am not totally sure. So I would say, it could mean, it's a possibility, no? So it could mean come here, or it could mean that the person is provoking somebody, or it could mean an intimidation or something like that. But in that case, it could mean because we are not completely sure. Okay? With the adverbs are simple expressions that they are going to show me, in this case, that the sentence is not completely sure or it's not completely certain. When I use maybe or perhaps, it means that in that case they mean quizás, ¿cierto? O de pronto, o tal vez, maybe, and perhaps. It's because we are not sure. Perhaps it means, or maybe it means, but we are not sure. Then we have possibly and probably, like 50-50, right? It's a possibility. And then we have definitely, certainly, or what was the other? Definitely, certainly, and what was the other one? Surely, which it means seguramente, right? Definitely, definitivamente, and certainly, ciertamente, right? And all of them, they mean that we are 99% sure about something. Take into account that in that case, when I use adverbs, the verb is going to be conjugated. So in that case, is means, porque el sujeto es it. O sea, la situación o la señal significa, pero como no está después de un modal, sino después de un adverbio, ahí tiene que ir conjugado el verbo. Ya no será mean, como después del modal, sino means después de un adverbio. Entonces, por ejemplo, lo mismo, with this sign. No, it surely means that no problem. Or it surely means that everything is okay. ¿Cierto? Or for example, with the meaning of the sign like this. No idea. It maybe means It maybe means that the person agree with you or that the person doesn't agree with you, or it perhaps means that the person doesn't understand, right? So in that case, guys, you have to be careful if you are sure or not sure about something, and then of course use it correctly. The difference between modals and adverbs, the only difference that I can see it is just the conjugation of the verb, but in use, it's the same. Yes? Probably the modal verbs are a little bit more formal and the adverbs are a little bit more informal, more conversational, but basically they are the same. For not certain, for 50-50, and for almost certain. Stop, ready? ¿Cómo van hasta ahí? Questions, difficulties. Esto es el vocabulario básicamente, ¿no? So, questions, difficulties, problems.
No, teacher, is clear. Only we can watch some examples.
Exactly. Of course, we're going to watch some examples, right? Guys, look at the face of this guy. Look at the face of this guy. I am going to make a very simple question. What, let me just erase this part. Vamos a borrar esta parte. Ya está, así, ya, that's it. What does that face mean? What does possibly, sorry, what does possibly that face mean? What do you think? This face.
It might he is confused.
Okay, it might what? It might mean
Might mean
he is confused.
he's confused.
¿Cierto? Lu, pero ¿estás segura o más o menos o solo suponiendo?
I suppose.
I suppose, right? So in that case, that's why she says it might mean, it's a possibility, right? Yo diría que could, porque sí parece estar confundido, ¿no? Como que con la manito es like, bueno, ¿qué otra? What other possibility?
It maybe means he's disconcerted.
Very good, Nico. It maybe means he is disconcerted. More desconcertado, disconcerted. Muy bien, very good, great, excellent. That's another possibility, ¿cierto? So in that case, you are making suppositions. You say it like, pues, profe, no sé, but maybe it means that. ¿Listo? Very good. So what about if we're going to have, a ver, we're going to erase, over here, erase. Okay, now let's go to the next slide and tell me the same. What is the meaning of that face? So in this case, we're going to go over some emojis. Okay, here. So, for example, guys, and I'm going to repeat the question. What does that face mean? This face. What does it mean?
Embarrassed.
Ok, Cami, but eso es el sentimiento. Entonces, how would you say? Pues
Yeah.
podría significar que la persona estaba avergonzada. Todo completo. How would you say that?
Entonces, perhaps,
Perhaps
um, im, em, im, o
means,
es em,
means.
no, no, no. Ah, ok,
Pero
means
antes de eso.
embarrassed.
Exactly. Entonces, it
Okay.
perhaps means que the person, no sé, he or she, depending, let's say it's a man, it perhaps means he is embarrassed.
Embarrassed.
¿Listo? Pero
Embarrassed.
embarrassed es solo el complemento, mira todo lo que hay antes de ello, ¿no? Entonces,
Okay.
posible, de pronto significa que él está avergonzado, that he is embarrassed. Yes? Muy bien, very good. Then what about if we have this face? What does it mean?
Teacher, it could mean angry.
It could mean he is angry, ¿cierto? Porque podría significar
Oh, yeah.
molesto, ¿no? Y no, todo completo. It could mean, digamos que esta ya es mujer, entonces it could mean she is angry.
Angry. Oh.
Exactly. Claro que acá, digamos que esta es muy clara que es angry, ¿cierto? Como que no hay casi lugar a duda. Podría usar de pronto must, ¿cierto? Si ya está, como en este caso, estamos muy seguros que significa que la persona está molesta, ¿cierto? Entonces, it must mean that the person is angry. It could be. Listo, very good. Now something more confusing. What about this one? What about this one? What is the meaning, the possible meaning of that face?
It could mean he's doubtful.
Ah, okay, like this. Okay, yes. Okay, very good. So it could mean that the person is thoughtful or reflexive. But in this case, I consider that it possibly means to keep quiet. In this case, I consider that it could mean, or it possibly means, it could mean to keep quiet. Entonces, in that case, we have two different kinds of meanings. Tenemos dos tipos de significado. One meaning is when the saying is a sentence complete. For example, she is angry. That is a complete sentence. Solamente una oración completa, ¿cierto? Que dice, está enojada, right? The other one is a request, o sea, un favor o una solicitud. For example, keep quiet. What is the meaning of keep quiet?
Guardar silencio.
Guardar silencio, muy bien. Ready? Or for example, come here. Yes. Or for example, and another one could be, for example, no sé, let's say, call me. Yes. Those are instructions or what we call request. Yes. It means that it's only a verb and a complement, and it's something that I want the person to do. In this case, it's called an statement. And it's nothing that I want the person to do, but it's something that I want to tell about the person. No es nada que yo quiera que la persona haga, sino es algo que quiero contar, ¿cierto? Es una oración sencilla, subject, verb, and complement, right? En este caso es solo verb and complement, o sea, un imperativo, algo que quiero que hagan la persona, right? So, if that is the way, when I try to express an statement, I am going to link the sentence with that. Por ejemplo, it possibly means that she's angry. Podría significar que ella está enojada. Mientras que cuando lo hago con un request, siempre lo uno con to. Podría significar mantenerse en silencio. O podría significar venir aquí. O podría significar llame. Entonces, for example, guys, what is the meaning of this sign when I do like this?
Call me.
Oh, completo, completo. How would you say todo all complete? It.
Call me.
Yeah.
Call me back.
Yeah, very good. So
To call me
it
back.
could mean Colby, but ¿qué tenemos antes del request?
To.
Exactly. So it could mean to call me back. Yes, that's it, right? Entonces, depende de lo que yo quiera reportar. Si la acción me parece, o sea, si la cara o la señal me parece una orden, pues lo reporto con to. Si me parece simplemente un statement, algo que quiero contar, pues lo reporto con that. ¿Listo? Entonces, for example, no sé, let's see. A ver, un poquito más grande. Ay, sorry. For example, this one, no? So we saw it could mean to call it to come here, yes? Or it could mean to give me or to pick me, que me elijan, ¿cierto? Something like that, for example. So it could mean to or it could mean that, depending if it's a sentence or if it's a statement. So, guys, ¿cómo van hasta ahí? Questions, más o menos, clear?
Probably it's clear.
It's clear. Maybe it's clear. Yes.
Maybe it's clear.
Muy bien, very good. So, in that case, that is the first part in which I am going to describe, wait a second, in which I am going to describe the possible meaning of something, en el cual voy a escribir el posible significado de algo. So in that case is, yes, just the subject, yes, the verb, the space, the verb mean, and that's it, right? So in that case, for example, it could mean, oh, sorry, it possibly means, ¿cierto? O, for example, si son plurales, they maybe mean, right? Or they must mean, depende, ¿no? Y luego, pues, el significado de las cosas. Entonces, la primera parte era aprender a cómo expresar cuando estoy seguro o no estoy seguro de algo, usando simplemente modales y adverbios, ¿right? Ahora, in this part, the signs, las señales, are going to be divided or categorized in three different types of signs, right? Which is prohibition, yes, which is a obligation, and which is information, or what it means, permission to, ¿cierto? Entonces, in that case, we have these three different categories of signs. And depending the sign that I see, I am going to describe the meaning of that sign using different statements, right? For example, for prohibition, we gotta use can't, algo que es prohibido, o aren't allowed to. O sea, no estás permitido a, aren't allowed to, yes? Permission o information es el opuesto. Entonces, can o are allowed to, yes? Obvio, después de esto, tengo que introducir verb in infinitive, que es la acción que está prohibida o que está permitida, pero siempre verbo en infinitivo, right? And the other two are going to be you have to o you have got to, que es lo mismo pero en versión británica, have got to, ¿cierto? O simplemente el gotta. No sé si ustedes han escuchado gotta en contextos más informales. You gotta go, I gotta work. ¿Mm?
A contraction.
Es a contraction, muy bien. Yes. Entonces es la contracción de la expresión have got to, que es una obligación. ¿Listo? Entonces, that case, obviamente también como tiene to, después va a ir un verbo en infinitivo, right? Entonces, guys, for example, imagine we have a sign which is like this. Chan, 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 chan. Pip, and cross like this. ¿Listo?
I got that to work is correct.
Sorry, honey.
I got that to work is correct.
Si usas gotta, ya no necesitas usar el to. Entonces sería I,
Ah,
perdóname.
okay.
I gotta work.
I gotta work.
Si
Okay.
lo usas completo, ahí podrías decir I have got to work. Ahí sí tendrías que usar el to si lo usas completo, pero si usas gotta ya solo sería como I gotta work y ya está. ¿Listo?
Thanks.
Right? Muy bien. Entonces we have that sign here, the sign that is here in red. Are you sure or not sure about the meaning? What do you think? ¿Estamos seguros o no estamos seguros? Are we sure or not?
I'm
Yeah.
sure.
Yes, we're sure,
I'm
estamos
sure.
clara, ¿no? Entonces, what is the meaning of that sign? Es una prohibición. You can park here. No puedes parquear acá. O you aren't allowed to park here. Yes, no tienes permiso de parquear acá, right? Pero como estamos seguros, I can put it together. La puedo poner, juntar, mezclar junto con las expresiones de acá. Ah, pues si ya sé que estoy seguro, entonces yo sé que it
Definitely.
definitely, muy bien, means that, ¿cierto? Porque es lo que voy a expresar es un statement, entonces that you can't o that you can't park here. ¿Mm? Todo completo. Ya no solamente estoy escribiendo si estoy seguro o no estoy seguro, sino aparte, cuál es el significado de esa oración, que en este caso es una prohibición. It definitely means that you can't park here. ¿Mm? Ready? Oh, for example, I don't know if you know, but in blue, in blue, there is other different types of information signs, right? Which is kind of the opposite. It's a P, but usually it's a square and it says, for example, 100 meters and a P. What is the meaning of that sign?
It's possible means that you can find a parking in 100 meters.
Exactly, my friend. This sign, it's informative. So it's giving information, not permission, but in that case, it's giving information. And well, it possibly means, but I think it must mean, but Nico doesn't want to express it so sure. Okay, it possibly means that you can find sorry, that you can find a sign in especially 100 meters, ¿cierto? Entonces, that is an informative sign, which is kind of the opposite. En ese caso no me está prohibiendo nada, me está es mostrando o dando una información, me está informando algo, por lo tanto usamos can't. Ready? So, not the negative like in this case, but the affirmative like in the other case, right? And for example, yes, right? Looking into the other way, yeah, there is a sign which is usually on the corners, is red, yes, and it's like, well, red, my friend, red, no blue, red. So it's like this, usually is an hexagon, yes, and it says stop. Okay, bueno, here in Colombia it says pare, right? What is the possible meaning of that sign? Or what do you think about it?
It definitely means that uh, you, no, means to stop. It definitely means to stop.
Muy bien, very good. It definitely means to stop. ¿Cierto? That's it. But in that case, that sign is expressing that it's an obligation to stop in that corner. Bueno, idealmente, ¿no? Debería ser una obligación. So in that case, it definitely means to stop, está perfecto. Pero si quiero expresar que es una obligación, so vamos a
It,
hacerla aquí más adelantico. Yes, dale.
it must
Sí, también. It must mean that you have got to stop,
stop.
right? Entonces, ambas son posibles. Aquí estoy diciendo como, pues, eso debe significar que pares, ¿cierto? Sin embargo, si quiero hacerlo incluso más obligatorio, pues, must, aquí lo uso no porque sea obligación, sino porque estoy seguro. Es decir, es la versión del modal de los adverbios como definite, para decir, sí, estoy seguro que debe significar eso. Pero la obligación aquí la expreso a través de have got to, right? Entonces, it must mean that you have got to stop, right? Entonces, remember it. Prohibition, can, o aren't allowed to. Information or permission, can, affirmative, right? And obligation, have to o have got to, que es el mismo gotta. Ready? So, en la primera parte, lo que hago es describir si estoy seguro o no. Por ejemplo, aquí Nico nos dijo qué significaba, pero nos dijo como, no estoy seguro completamente, pero lo más seguro es que sí, yes, but it possibly means, yes. En cambio, Luisa en ambas nos dijo, vea, yo sí estoy seguro que eso significa esto, ready? So she said, it definitely means, right? Que estaba segura. Entonces, la oración va a tener dos partes. En la primera, yo determino si estoy seguro o no estoy seguro sobre esa oración, sobre esa señal o sobre lo que yo quiera expresar. Y en la segunda, expreso después del that o después del to, justamente lo que yo quiero, lo que yo creo que significa esa señal. Puede ser simplemente un request, una orden, parar, ¿yes? O puede ser que yo entregue toda la información a través de un statement, como en este caso, you can find a sign, no sino a park, era a park space, ¿cierto? In 100 years, in 100 years, in 100 meters. O, for example, here, an obligation. It must mean that you have got to stop. ¿Listo? Entonces, the sentence are going to be part into different division or sections, right? ¿Qué tal, guys? Hasta ahí, ¿cómo van? Good questions, difficulties.
Good, it's clear.
Good. So far, so good. Excellent, guys. Bueno. Guys, select one number from 1 to 10 and tell me what number do you select. Here we have Lou, here we have Yen, here we have Nico, and here we have Cami. Select one number from 1 to 10.
Per 3.
3.
7.
7.
No, teacher. 7 is for
Ah, 7
Lu.
is for Lisa. Sorry, thank you. Thank you so
for
much.
me
And
5.
5.
No, 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 no. 4, 4, 4, 4,
4,
4,
4,
4.
4, 4, 4. Okay, 4. And Camilo, what's your number, Mike?
5, teacher.
5, 2. Okay, good. So in this case, guys, we're going to have 10 different signs. Find your number and tell me what is the possible meaning of that sign. Yeah, so we have here number 7, we have here number 5, aunque ya lo hicimos, pero bueno, no problem. Pronto puedes cambiar a otra, maybe. We have number 4 here, and we have number 3 here. Ready? Look at the sign and tell me what is it possibly the sign, the meaning of that sign.
Teacher,
Mhm.
I'm going to change my number.
Which one? Which do you want?
With the 8 number.
Good, excellent. So you gotta tell me number 8. Perfect.
Teacher,
Yep.
can I start?
Tell me, my dear.
Eh,
Ah,
¿Puedo empezar?
sure, of course, yes. Can I start? I didn't understand, sorry, but you
Okay.
said it right. Yes.
My number is 5.
Mhm.
And it must mean, I have a question. It must mean that you haven't got to enter, or it must mean that you don't enter in that road.
In that case, my dear, when we talk about obligation, yes,
Yeah.
We use have to and we use have got to. But this is not an obligation, it's a prohibition because it's prohibited.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. And it must mean that you can. Enter?
Exactly,
Enter.
very
Yes.
good.
El don no
Enter.
iría.
No, no, no,
Enter.
that's it. So it
Okay.
must
That
mean that
you
you
can
can't enter.
enter
Excellent, Jennifer. Muy bien,
in
very
that
good.
road. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly, in that road.
Oh,
Perfect, that's it.
thank you, teacher.
No worries, it's fine. Any other?
Teacher,
Mhm.
I don't know what is the mean of the sign, but I do the exercise.
Okay, okay.
7. It possibly means that you have to respect a traffic light.
It's a possibility, ¿cierto? But that's why you said it possibly means because you are not sure. Muy bien, very good. So it possibly means that you have to respect a traffic light. Okay. Muy bien. It's a possibility. Anybody else have any idea or hypothesis about the sign never number 7, sorry?
Teacher.
Idea? Yeah. Bueno, it means, yes, it definitely means that you can find a traffic light in the next 100 meters or less. ¿verdad? Like there is a traffic light near to you. And of course, it definitely means that you have to respect that traffic light. So you're right. Muy bien.
Okay.
Very good. Excellent.
Available in
Yeah.
Bogota.
Exactly. Nico, what about your sign number 3?
Number 3, it must mean that this parking is for exclusive for discapacity people.
Disabled people. Yes. Disabled people. Disabled people. Exactly. In this case, I can express it with information slash permission. So the only people who are permitted or who are allowed to park there are the disabled people, right? So in that case, it means that that only disabled people are allowed to park in that space. No, that's like a meaning of that. Mhm. Muy bien, guys. Very good. And Camilo, what about number 8, my friend?
Yes, teacher. It uh, must
Mhm.
mean that or to.
Depending. What do you want
Um,
to say?
I think that is it must mean that you aren't allowed to wrong way.
Kind of. So it must mean that you aren't allowed to go in that direction. Because when I say wrong way, es como camino incorrecto. Es decir, que
Mhm.
no se puede ir en esa dirección, right? Es como contravía, pues, right? So in that case, it must mean that you can, que no puede, ¿cierto? That you can go in that
Okay.
direction. ¿Mm? ¿Listo? Muy bien, guys.
Okay.
Excellent. Very good. So in that case, those are the meanings of these different signs. And the idea, well, is that you can express it like without so much difficulty as you did it, no? So even if you're sure or not sure about it, but you can express it like, I don't know exactly, but it possibly means that, da, da, da. Or for example, with this one that you already told me, ya me la dijeron, no? So it definitely means that you can't turn back. Or it definitely means that you have got to stop. Es una obligación, right? But when we talk about signs, we don't only have signs on the traffic, no? We also have signs in other different parts. Like for example, guys, what about if you see this sign? Give me 1 second. Esta. What do you interpret if you see that sign? What do you think? Is it a specific meaning or you don't understand? If you see these little figures, what do you understand there?
Mm. The signal, it must means that is no means that indicate a bad rule for uh, women and men.
Exactly. So it must mean that it is a restroom. It is a restroom. Recuerden que bathroom es más como el de la casita, el que tenemos así como en centros comerciales o en lugares donde tengo este señal. Es más como un restroom. ¿Por qué? Porque no tiene realmente para bañarme. Bathroom es como el lugar donde yo me baño, ¿cierto? Sino esto es como un restroom, es decir, como un toilet. ¿Ready? Entonces, it must mean that it is a restroom. Bien, excelente. Yes. But in this case, this little guy, yes, it, I suppose that it possibly means that only men can enter there. Sorry, enter there, right? So, esta puede ser la generalidad de la señal completa, pero este solo muñequito, that the little guy, it possibly means that only men can enter there. Of course, the women, but it's the same with women. It definitely means that women are allowed to enter there, and it's a prohibition for the men, no? So it definitely means that the men can't or are not allowed to enter in that room, no? So one sign can be expressed or can be interpreted from different or in different ways. I can express it as a general meaning. I can express it as a possibility, as a permission, or I can express it as a prohibition, ¿cierto? This girl, yes, she means that men can't enter there. Yes, and it's exactly the same sign. I am just trying to express it in different ways, depending on my intention, my emphasis. If I want to express the emphasis on the prohibition, well, I use it. Or if I want to express the emphasis on the permission or the information, well, I use it, right? So in that case, guys, one sign, it has to be, or it can be interpreted in many different ways, okay? How do you feel? Questions about it, difficulties or problems?
In this moment, no.
No, no. Listo, guys. Muy bien. So nothing. In that case, it's just simply to practice with other different signs. No, for example, you can find this different design in many different places. Wait a second. Ay, my God. That's it, right? What about that sign?
Don't smoke.
Ajá.
Don't smoke es la señal, ¿cierto? Pero if I want to know, pues esa señal puede significar que no puedes fumar o que está prohibido fumar. How would you express all of that?
Means
La leyenda.
it certainly means that you eso sería una prohibición,
Where is
prohibición, ¿cierto?
una
You
prohibición?
can,
Ajá.
you can smoke here.
Exacto, muy bien, ¿cierto? Entonces, it certainly means, ya está seguro, está obvio, es obvio la señal. It certainly means that you can't smoke here, right? Muy bien, entonces try to practice with signs in your house, in your building, in your work, in the public transportation, that there are signs all different places, right? So try to practice making this kind of analysis over the signs in different moments of your life. Ready? But in general terms, it's easy, no? It's just using define definitely or not definitely modal verbs and adverbs, and that's it. Still, guys, questions or something like that? Everything good?
No, teacher, everything good.
Listo, guys. Entonces, for the moment, that's it. Nos vemos la otra semana en las clases 11.1 y 11.2. ¿Listo? So, have a good rest of the week and see you the next week in class, okay?
Good night.
Thank you for the
Thank
Thank
you,
you,
participation.
teacher.
teacher. Bye.
Thanks.
Bye bye. See you.